Hello and welcome to today's game. Today we're having Ohlone's team Lewd Dudes fighting against San Francisco's City of College San Francisco. I am your caster, Justin Lechocho, and my co-caster is going to be here in a couple of minutes. So, at the moment, though, I'm just going to be casting this by myself. Okay, so Steven, can you help us talk a bit about these two teams? I don't really know much background information.
Oh, sure thing, Justin. To everyone who just joined the stream, hi, my name is Steven, and I am the president of the Esports Arcade over here at the Ohlone campus. Nice to meet you all. So for today's matchup, this is a sort of JV free-for-all match against, again, Lewd Dudes and members of the City College of San Francisco. For those of you who may not know about City College of San Francisco, they started their club up about a month ago, and just as of last week, they got their team together to play against us. So we're very excited for this matchup to begin. As for Lewd Dudes, it's captained by Rootbidge Johnny. They've been playing about 6 to 7 practice matches with their own team. And so this is, again, their first JV scrimmage against another college. So we'll see what happens in 15 minutes when the game will get started. So, Justin, by your analysis, what do you think of Lewd Dudes?
Just looking at the divisions right now, because I don't know too much about these players' backgrounds. I'm looking at the division. Lewd Dudes, they have a Silver 2 top laner, a Silver 2 jungler, a Gold 5 mid laner, a Gold 3 bot laner, and a Gold 3 support. So, honestly, their divisions aren't exactly terrible. They could actually, they're just as good as Lewd Dudes is. Oh wait, no, this is the San Francisco team. Okay, but division-wise, the San Francisco team and Lewd Dudes, they're evenly matched. So unless we actually get into the game, I'd say they're pretty even, just on paper. Each individual player though should have their own play styles. So I'm interested in seeing what each player decides to whip out. Some players are, for example, let's just talk about top lanes. Some top laners are some of them like playing tanks top, some people like playing aggressive top laners, some people like playing carry top laners, so every team is going to be shaped very differently. We're not exactly going to see LCS rotatos or anything like that. We're not going to have anything super professional here. Honestly, this could look kind of like a solo queue game, but still, I think that's going to be pretty exciting. There's going to be more coordination than a solo queue game, but I believe that...
I have not been added to the lobby.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Yes, he is.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so you guys, just want to let you know, I will not be casting tonight. Instead, Kevin Doan, captain of the varsity team, Tibbers MIA, will be taking my place. So I'm going to log off for now, and I will see you guys after the best of 3 match. So, yeah, I'll see you guys there.
All right, cool. I need to be invited to the lobby. That's all.
Ah, yes.
So, okay. I am compiling a history report of our JV team, such as most play chance, win percentage, and blah, 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 blah. So then when the champ selects rolls around, we have something to talk about rather than just silent.
Oh, okay, that's great. Because I don't know much about
Sound
these
good?
teams. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
These teams right now are completely...
Yeah, I don't either. It's just I know how awkward it is for shoutcasters just to be silent
It's okay. I can talk
like
a lot
they
of
go
general
on a
blah
tangent.
about their picks
I mean,
and
it's funny
bans.
if it's a funny.
Yeah, I can
Mhm.
talk a lot. If they ban something like Kazakhs, I can start talking a lot about Kazakhs because I play Kazakhs. And if
I'll
they ban something weird like a donger, then I will talk about the donger. I can keep talking. Much things I can talk about.
okay.
Okay. So the game's
I'll
about to
send you
start
my
in.
report as soon as
Alright.
they finish. It's about to start.
It's about to
About
start
to
in
start.
about 5 minutes. So
Okay. Okay.
right now I think they're sorting out the teams and
Okay.
they're trying to get all the people in the right positions. Otherwise it's gonna
Um,
be all messed up on the sides. Okay.
I'm finishing up my support, and I have one more player to go through. 25 with a win percentage of 72%. Um, let's see. There's really not much to talk about supports unless there's actually support stats are mediocre, pretty soon. Not much to talk about. All right, last person.
It's alright. No one cares about support.
Last person is I. Let's call him I, because I have no idea how many eyes he has in his name. Do you hear in background noise?
Yes?
I'm gonna close the door. One moment.
It's okay. Okay.
This is unable to join lobby because it is full.
It is full of spectators?
The lobby's full. I can't join.
Okay.
It's just full. Period.
Let's see. Can I have your IGN? I'll try inviting you. What's your IGN?
Kepik, Keppik.
K. Oh yeah, I do have you. Okay.
Kepik, Keppik.
Yeah, I have you.
Mhm.
Invite to. I can't invite you to game. I don't have permission. Okay, Steven's working on it. So right now we're having a bit of a delay because we're trying to get our second shoutcaster in here, and delays always happen. LCS, it always takes a really long time for LCS to actually start. So that's why they all have those pre-game shows.
With
The shows with the profit crumbs and exciting stuff. If only we had exciting stuff to give. Right now we're just sitting here with analysis, pre-game analysis.
Right. Text now to blah 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 blah. Let's see. His stats are amazing. Okay. What else should I talk about? So, oh no, that's range 5. Just kidding. Not much I can talk about. Okay. Save. Desktop. Dude. Report. Oh, apparently we're live. Give me a moment.
Yes, we are live. But there's not.
Yeah, I'm sending you a...
Okay, I got it. Lewd Dude's report. This is gonna be interesting.
Awesome. This works. What's up?
Aha.
You got it, right?
Yep. I'm currently downloading.
Sweet.
Okay, let's get this party started.
So,
Trying
the Lewd Dudes is a relatively new team. They had 2 ranked games so far, and they dominated both of their games. 33 and 17, and the other game was 28 and 14. Their team average is roughly gold, in the mid gold, with their highest ranking being a gold 2, 1 tons of damage, and their lowest ranking Jamalco, silver 4. Oh.
Okay,
Is this better?
Is my mic too quiet though?
Is my mic better now? Oh no.
Yep, I think that's fine.
Is this good?
Yep.
Good, cool.
1 tons of damage, has 92 wins this season, 51%. Most played top champions are Vlad. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
So yes, 1 tons of damage.
Vladimir. I haven't seen a
Played
Vlad
top
in a
champions
very,
are
very
Vlad,
long time.
16 games with 62%.
Nasus, 8 games with Nasus,
He's
62%.
yeah, he
If he plays a lot of
63%
Rise, though,
win
that's
rate.
pretty good. I think Rise is a
And
great...
Olaf,
Rise is a great flavor of the month pick. He's super strong. He's getting nerfed in beta, actually, just because he's so ridiculously strong. There's no real answer against Rise except destroy his early game. And a lot of teams have a lot of trouble dealing with early games, especially in the lower elos and in more uncoordinated teams. Rise is actually really hard to shut down.
yeah, his weak points is his early game. A lot of people, what they try to do is they try to shove their lane to tower, as Rise has a hard time last hitting and farming under tower. So that's one tactic that I've learned against going against Rise.
Rise is a pretty strong pick, so I think this 1 tons of damage guy, he has a lot of... His champ pool's fairly big, he can play many champions, so... Let's see, their jungler, top fanboy.
Yes, he tends to dominate his top lane. And
So, top fanboy, he's
top
their team
fanboy
captain.
is gold for this season. Team.
He has 88 wins.
The team captain. 88 wins this season.
I'm not surprised that he's the team
57%
captain.
win ratio.
The team captain typically is a shot caller, and in order to make shot calls, you typically have to be observing the map very intently, which is typically either from the support role, or you have to be the one making the plays, getting successful ganks, killing people, and then calling for a certain objective, like whether or not to take this tower or go for a dragon, which is typically the jungler. In most of the games that I see in LCS and just informal, just normal team games, like this in SCRIM games, you see a lot of junglers being the shot callers, because after they get maybe a couple of kills at mid lane, they decide which objective to take. They're the ones shot calling.
That's very true. That's very true. It's also because the jungler has to have very good map awareness, as they have to essentially support all their lanes, or the lanes that are either severely behind, or the lanes that they actually want to snowball.
Yeah, he's essentially...
They do work well in conjunction with the support, as so. What's up?
He is essentially controlling the flow of the game, so most of the times it's just the jungler making the game progress, and with his ganks, and along with making the shot calls to get the objectives that they need.
Very true.
He plays a lot of Lee
Even
Sin.
though, for my team myself, for my team, Timbers MIA, even though I'm team captain, I'm not necessarily shot caller. One of my players, the jungler, he tends to be the shot caller. I do believe that the team captain itself has to be in a leadership position in a sense where they would have to inspire their teammates, motivate their teammates to practice. Of course, all the things that go on behind the scene is what builds the team. You can have really good players, but not, if they're not coordinated, if they're not motivated, it just makes it really complicated and
Okay.
with team.
I've just been notified that the game is just about to start. So, let us get into the game.
Yes, let's get this started.
It's going to start in about a minute or two. I am hyped. This is gonna be exciting. A lot of solo queue madness. I mean, they're probably gonna be in the same Skype call and they're probably gonna be talking to each other, but I'm expecting a slaughter. It's not gonna be patient LCS rotatos taking one tower after another with no kills. I think there's gonna be a lot of kills in this game because no one is actually in plat in both teams, and down here in the gold and the silver divisions, they do a lot of killing. So this is going to be exciting.
It's very true. It's very true. I have noticed that that AC and the top laner of Lewd dudes, they tend to play very aggressive and completely dominate their lane. So I can expect to see lots of kills go on and a lot of actions going on at top and bot lane. What's interesting is that their mid laner is actually has quite a few games in ranked as a support, but is now playing mid for their team. So I actually want to see how that turns out and see pretty much how he handles the mid.
Huh. Okay, someone on the City College of San Francisco is using the bathroom, so we're going to be delayed just a bit longer. Patience, my friends. Patience. Let the man take his dump. Okay. Well. So, I think this team actually has a lot of potential. Just looking at their stats is actually pretty nice. They at least have, they might not be in the highest of divisions, but this is pretty interesting. They have many games in their pockets, which means they're experienced at least. Like their AD carry. Their AD carry has 180 wins. Their support has 250 wins. Mid laner 307 wins. Top laner 92 wins. And their jungler has 88 wins. They have many games. That's a lot of games. So,
Of course, yes.
these guys have experience. Whereas for the City College of San Francisco, I have no idea what they're gonna pull out. This is a mysterious team as far as I'm concerned. They also have a lot of
I
games,
couldn't get the
actually.
roster from the
Yeah, it was all a little last minute. Their support only has 8 ranked games, 8 ranked wins, so a lot less experience compared to Jamamco. Okay, everybody's ready now. The stream's about to start. Game's about to start. Let's get our hype ready.
Let's do this.
And the game has started. Okay, let's see what the pick and ban phase is.
So it seems that Ohlone has the first ban and first pick on blue side. So Wonton is their top, I believe. It's their top, so
Decline's a little
I
might have to
I don't think they'll be picking their top lane first. The top lane tends to be very very hard to view first pick since there's so many matchups, so many combos.
Okay, the stream's a little wonky right now. I gotta fix this up. There we go. Okay. They banned Lucian. I'm not surprised. Lucian's been terrifying even after his nerf, so it's not exactly a surprising ban. Other teams taking a while. Banned Morgana. Morgana's also not very surprising. Her snare, I don't know why they
with the song.
I'm not sure why Riot banned didn't nerf Morgana yet. Like, her snare is so abusive. They already nerfed the likes of Fiddlesticks and Rammus, their CCs being more than like 3 seconds long, and yet Morgana is still a champion that hasn't been nerfed. Her binding is also 3 seconds, and they haven't touched that at all. Kog'Maw and Rise.
So as you can see, Rise and Morgana have both been banned, which are strong bans because Wonton's Rise is pretty ridiculous. He's 14-3 in this most recent game.
I'm
and
not too
Morgana
sure.
would be a very good.
I'm not too sure Rise is a target ban though. Rise in general is just strong, so maybe they just didn't want like, if they had each other's as rosters, maybe Rise wasn't exactly a target ban. Maybe it was just a power pick ban, just like how you would ban, say for example, Yasuo in a normal game. Tristana getting picked up here on the blue team.
Seems that first pick of.
Yeah, Tristana's still very strong after her nerfs. Her quote-unquote nerfs. They weren't exactly very
strong.
big. Her Q.
Let's call him I because I'm not going to drag out the I. ADC, his second most played ADC is Tristana with a 59% win rate. So you can expect to see a couple of good things coming out of I this game.
It's funny how Riot they said that they nerfed Tristana, but the most that they did was just increase the cooldown of her ult, and they lowered the duration of her Q, but they made the attack speed faster, which is not exactly a nerf. I don't know. That doesn't feel like a nerf to me. Wukong and Nami. That's pretty interesting. That's gonna be one hell of a wombo combo.
Yeah, so that's pretty much a knockout team right now.
Yeah. And Yasuo's open. Yasuo's open. That's very surprising. So, if San Francisco... Oh, they're picking Yasuo though. Lewd Dudes is picking Yasuo away from San Francisco to prevent that huge wombo combo coming up from the Nami wave and the Wukong ult. Yasuo being locked in. Maokai.
So Yasuo would be the pick for Valencia since he's mid, and he's been practicing Yasuo along with the Syndra, so I can see that they didn't want the other team to get the Yasuo.
Yasuo's a great power pick too, so even after his nerfs, if you're someone competent, like Yasuo does have the lowest win rate in the entire game at like a whopping low 43%, but in the right hands, Yasuo is still an extremely strong pick. Maokai.
Very.
Okay. So now we know for sure that Wukong is likely in the jungle. Irelia is most likely going top lane. I haven't seen Irelia anywhere else. So... Oh, the instant pick to Lux. Lux against Yasuo, that doesn't look very good. Yasuo can beat Lux up pretty well. Nar and Braum. So this Maokai is likely,
Jax. Or Cho.
yeah, Eve, Braum. Is it gonna be Braum? Braum would be the safer pick here. A Braum Tristana lane would be practically unkillable. Okay, so the Braum has been locked in. Now we just gotta see this Gnar. Gnar and Yasuo actually synergize incredibly well. Gnar's ult,
Pretty good pick.
yeah, Gnar's ult actually counts as a knockup. So if Gnar gets an entire ult on an entire enemy team, then Yasuo can just follow up with his ult. Maokai can go in with his Twisted Advance and then just pop his ult, and it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be wontons of damage. I really
So the essentially the entire blue team, all of them have a source of knockup for the Yasuo, which is great. The purple team seems to be a very dive-oriented team. With the Braum pick, I think they could counter initiate, because essentially he can block Nami Wave and Lux Ult and whatnot, and the poke from Corki.
This Lux. I think the Lux. Oh, is it? The Lux pick is a little fishy. That's the only thing that I feel like doesn't belong here. Lux is. Lux can get countered by Yasuo pretty hard. Mid lane is a bit of a skill matchup, so I think it could go either direction. We'll have to see about this. But I like Lewd Dudes' team comp right now. It's very solid, looks very LCS, to be honest. And to the right, the San Francisco team, the only handicap that I see at the moment in terms of team comp is their Lux pick. Their Lux pick is very immobile. She doesn't do as much damage as someone, say, like Ziggs, and she's not an assassin either. She can't exactly just go in, kill someone, and get out. She's very, very inconsistent.
I believe she's burst oriented, along with say Lei Hong, Wukong, and Corki. They're all very burst damage over a short amount of time, and the Maokai pick pretty much mitigates that damage for his team during the team fight, along with Braum, who also blocks projectiles. So I think they have a pretty good setup on the Lewd Dudes right now.
Yeah, San Francisco right now, they need to land. They need to get picks. They can't have a full-out team fight. An all-out team fight would just, if both teams were even, it would just devastate them. So
they can essentially play protected ADC, so Sana excels in that kind of comp.
which is why San Francisco just needs to get objectives. They need to get some picks and then start grabbing objectives after that. I think they have a very solid skirmish composition right now. Lux is very good at skirmishing. She can just land a snare, and then her team can follow up and immediately delete someone with the amount of CC that they have. An Irelia stun and a Nami bubble and a Lux snare. If one of those hits, then the other two can immediately follow up, and then Corki can just burst them down. So San Francisco, they have a very solid pick composition team right now, I believe.
The audiences have been debating on whether Maokai pick was a good pick for jungle or not, and whether Maokai is relatively good in the jungle by himself. So what do you think about that, Justin?
Maokai is very solid in the jungle, contrary to popular belief. People think he's strongest top lane, but top lane, yeah, he's very strong. But I think his top lane and jungle, after his recent nerfs, they're about the same level of strength. Like, how do you say this? His ganking potential wasn't nerfed or anything, so he's still extremely strong in the jungle. The only thing that they nerfed was his top lane and a bit of his team fight potential. So right now, Maokai is still a solid pick in the jungle. People just never realize his full potential. Like,
Very true, very true.
yes. If you want to pick a tank in the jungle, I think Maokai is one of the strongest picks as a tank. If you play someone like Nautilus or Nautilus, Zac, or what's another tank jungler? Rammus. Those three are incredibly suspect to counter jungling. But Maokai, he is very strong. The number one problem for tanks in the jungle is that they can get their asses handed to them in a counter jungling situation to someone like Lee Sin. Maokai can actually fend for himself. So if the team composition requires a tank in the jungle, then Maokai fits very well in most scenarios. So we are currently on the load screen. Lewd Dudes is going to be on the blue side, and San Francisco is going to be on the purple side. You know, a lot of the times they talk about blue and purple team bias being a big deal in LCS. I personally believe that's not exactly a huge contributing factor in something like a solo queue game, or in this case a low elo team game, a low elo ranked game.
I see.
Because blue side, a lot of people, they said blue side bias and purple side bias has a lot to do with dragon control. And if the LCS teams want a lane swap, the team on the purple side that typically does the lane swap is usually the losing team, because they're the ones that lose dragon control because they rotate two people onto the top side. But in this, these people are gold and silver. I don't think they're gonna do anything fancy like lane swaps. So this map bias, it's not gonna mean much.
I do. So do you feel like there's going to be any early invade level 1 fights in the jungle with these comps? And who do you think, if there is, would win these skirmishes in the beginning?
So level 1 invades, there may or may not be level 1 invades, but if it all depends on the team. But if there were to be a level 1 skirmish, I think that Lewd Dudes, they both have very solid level 1 invades. Braum has his passive and his Q. Tristana just does a lot of damage in general. She's not going to be on the front line. Yasuo doesn't contribute much, but Maokai has his Twisted Advance, and Gnar has his permaslow, because as long as he keeps catching his boomerangs, he can just keep slowing people as he chases them. But let's look at San Francisco side. They have a Nami. She can put a point into Q, and she can get maybe a 5-man bubble. And a Corki. Corki does a lot of damage. Irelia has a stun. Wukong does a lot of damage, and Lux has a snare. So honestly, in terms of level 1, these two teams are fairly even. We are currently in game.
Let's switch the
Yep, I'm getting that right
the
now.
champions to their proper matchups.
I think Lux and Irelia are the only ones that are out of place, so that's a bit unfortunate. Alright then. We're now on Summoner's Rift. This is Lewd Dudes versus the City College of San Francisco.
Alright, let's see their debut match.
Okay, Valencia.
These two teams have literally just made their... Oh my god, the sound is so loud. I'm gonna turn that down.
Anything cheeky going on?
So these two teams are relatively new, so we're going to see a lot of the testing of teamwork compatibility here, and communication is going to be one of the key things that's going to probably make or break this match.
I think communication is important, but at the same time, that communication becomes a key issue after the mechanical issues have been solved. So in something like Challenger or Master Tier or Diamond 1, that's when teamwork is the most crucial. But these players, they still have some mechanical issues. Like one player might be better at CSing than another, one player might be better at trading than another, one player might team fight better than another player. So they still have these mechanical issues that they have to overcome. But definitely
both teams seem to be protecting their buffs.
Yeah. It's not...
And it seems that
nothing
San
surprising
Francisco might be
going on.
attempting
a cheeky invade on the top side.
No, more like harassing.
Yeah.
Mid's
So-
gonna be big back to her lane.
Typical starts. Both junglers starting at the bottom side to get good leashes from their bot lanes.
So
Yes.
I assume, not really assume, but it's pretty much common knowledge that you try to mirror your the opponent jungler, so you anticipate where they're going to be relatively level 3.
It's not exactly mirroring. The reason why junglers always start on the bottom side is because they want. Oh, level 2 gang coming in from Maokai. Porky pops his flash, but he pops it
Early
too
level
fast.
2 gank,
Yeah.
resulting in first
Blood for
blood.
Braum. Corki flashed a
According
little
to
too
Braum.
late. He should have flashed immediately when he saw Maokai, because he flashed when Maokai already popped his twisted advance onto him, and then Maokai just followed him towards his
Right.
flash, and he just ended up dying. So, bot lane, Corki is currently level 1, and he's gonna have a lot of trouble with that lane. Right now he's at a very big EXP deficit, and that's gonna be very hard to recover from.
So I've played Gnar a few times myself, and I've noticed that he tends to have a weakness against champions who have gap closers. What's your thought on that?
He doesn't. I don't think Gnar has a particular weakness. Gnar's just strong overall. Oh, Wukong's coming in for a gank on the Gnar. Gnar, he has
And we
jump
see a
ability,
gank top.
and he's forced to fall off the flash. Gnar doesn't exactly have a big weakness. The only thing, after Riot buffs Gnar, I think the biggest weakness in his kit is still manipulating his transformations. Basically, if a team sees that he's about to transform, then they could choose to back off or engage. If he's turning small, which is when he's the weakest, then they can choose to engage. When he's turning big, then they can choose to just run away. Gank going on mid lane.
Also noticed that he started Doran's shield, which is relatively interesting.
I find that fairly normal because Irelia is going to be up in Gnar's face a lot. Gnar is, as you said before, Irelia is a bit of a bully when it comes to range champion lanes. So Gnar was just trying to be safe, and he just opted for that Doran shield, the introduction. A gank going mid lane. Lux pops her barrier.
There's a gank mid.
Lux pops her barrier, but Maokai and Yasuo both end up taking lots of damage. So, bot lane is doing very well for this Tristana.
Looking at the gold so far, blue team's leading by roughly 6k. The blue team is leading in CS also, especially bot lane.
Well, the CS deficit and the gold deficit this early on in the game isn't exactly a deciding factor. Like, sure, it's gonna matter,
Most
but as long as both teams keep it even at the moment, there's still hope for San Francisco. Like, it all comes down to those first few objectives. The first few objectives are the most important. So,
Here we see a Wukong attempting a gank top.
you went
They're
for that
bored.
early trinket.
I'm not
That's
gonna-
very interesting. The early sweeping lens is actually pretty useful. What I typically like to do when I'm jungling is you start out with the warding trinket because you can prevent a lot of stuff from happening, and you can pop down that ward. And then once you go back on your first recall, you sell that and immediately go for the sweeping lens, because the sweeping lens can help you with your gank set a lot.
Yep. I actually take it one step further. I start, oh, here we go. There's a gank top lane, Maokai with the root and the knockup. Gnar with the jump and the stun. Could look like it could result in a kill.
Gnar wasn't level 6 yet, though.
No.
No, he's not going for this.
No.
I really makes it
It
out.
was a little
with
forced, but
Snowcrown.
still. Here we come.
Um, so you're saying about your jungle?
But yeah. Oh yeah. I sometimes take it a step further and start with the warning trinket. I go award my opposite buff and go and switch trinkets right then and there.
Ah.
So by the time I gank, my sweeping lens is actually up.
So this mid lane. It actually looks like
Yasuo with the
there's a
knockup.
gank. Lux still has her flash, but I don't think she's getting out of this.
I'm actually surprised that Yasuo didn't ult,
Oh yeah, yeah. Maokai uses Q on.
but he still got the kill. Regardless. He actually hit his tornado and the Maokai.
Yeah, that was a little sloppy. Yasuo could have prevented the burning of both of them. But meanwhile, bot lane is having a lot of action. Corky, being the lane bully that he is, even though he's down a lot of EXP at CS, he's still doing quite a bit of damage.
Definitely.
As I was saying before though, that Yasuo, he didn't have to burn both his summers. If he had simply landed that one ult, I think he didn't have to burn any summers.
I agree.
Tristana's trying her best to go back right now. And despite her CS advantage and her EXP advantage, she's not getting any advantage from it just because she didn't go home and shop. Right now, she currently has just 1.9k gold in her pocket, and Corky, he has 1.4k gold, but Corky honestly has the advantage here just because he's Corky. Tristana didn't get to abuse the fact that they killed Corky at level 1 because she didn't buy her items when she went back. Top lane. The CS differential has been evened out, and Gnar is currently leading. Meanwhile,
Wukong's sitting there waiting for that gank opportunity.
Wukong should focus his attention on mid lane and bottom lane, in my opinion, because Irelia, she can trade evenly with Gnar, and if Wukong were to try to gank top lane, Gnar has this cheeky little jump and he can just hop right out. Meanwhile, mid lane.
I feel that I really can actually scale really well into late game if she doesn't get too far behind, as to where Lux and both bot lane are a little behind right now. They need a little support from the jungle.
Yeah, and Wukong ultimate could pretty much just change mid lane and bottom lane. Like if Wukong were to just go bottom lane and fight Tristana and Braum, they would just... I think they would melt very fast, especially with Nami's wave. And if he were to change something in bottom lane and stop wasting his time top lane because Gnar is just so hard to gank, then they could probably take an objective after that. And as I said before, the objective, the first objective is typically the most important.
And here we see a fight between Wukong and Maokai. Irelia is leading the reinforcement first.
Maokai seems to be winning this, but both of them are forced to flash.
Oh,
Gnar's transforming, and wow, that's a lot of damage. Goodbye, Aurelia.
Yep.
Ooh, and a beautiful boulder from Gnar. That
Very
was well
nice.
sniped.
Very nice house throw.
Yeah. Dude, that was a blind house, man. That was incredible. He did have vision, and then he just got the throw. And he's going for the dive on Lux. He doesn't really have to do much. Oh, and he jumps right into turret range. Meanwhile, bottom lane is also good.
I feel that jump was unnecessary because that was a huge risk that
He did manage to survive. Oh wow, bot lane is going completely ham.
he did.
Double kill for Tristana. That's not going to look good for
So
the
now
Sun.
the game is 7-0 in favor of blue team
Blue dudes. Tristana.
with
Wow.
one tower down and might be another tower down.
Tristana has the most CS in the game. She has 2 kills in her pocket and 1 assist. This is not going to look very good for San Francisco. Corky is supposed to be an early game champion, and yet he's getting completely destroyed by this late game bottom lane.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, Brahma is very good at mitigating damage for his carry. So that Corki is all about burst damage, and pretty much Braum just blocks out the damage.
Yeah. So Lewd Dudes honestly had the opportunity. No, not Lewd. San Francisco honestly had the opportunity to bridge the gap between them. They should have sent Wukong bottom lane instead of keeping him top lane the entire time, because honestly, I don't think Wukong did anything this game so far. He hasn't contributed much to his team. Gnar has red buff, and this is going to be very hard for Irelia. Because of that early skirmish in the bottom lane, Irelia forced to pop flash, but she just ends up dying. Because of that skirmish in the jungle with Maokai and Wukong, and Gnar getting the better of it, this is kind of messed up Irelia's lane. She can't really do much. Oh, mid lane, Yasuo's getting a lot of
Seems that Gnar's
hits.
gonna go the...
Yasuo gets a lot of hit with Sunlux, ends up burning her flash, which is very worth. Gnar's gonna take the top
Seems that
tower.
there's gonna be some action at blue buff.
Gnar takes the top tower. Blue buff is warded, but Wukong just ends up smiting that. Lux isn't gonna get a blue buff for a while. Blue team. Lewd Dudes is deciding to go for
Action at Dragon. Incoming teleport from behind the enemy lines. There's the Gnar.
Gnar doesn't have his
There's
Mega
the
Gnar
Wukong
form, though. It's still
wombo
very
combo.
squishy.
Tons of damage, but Braum and Maokai mitigated majority of that damage.
See, the entire blue team is still completely healthy. They didn't take a lot of damage from that thanks to Braum and Maokai. So, things aren't exactly looking very good for San Francisco. I said before that that 600 gold lead didn't matter that much early game, but Lewd Dudes managed to snowball that lead from 600 gold to 7k by 14 minutes. So, it's very, very good play from Lewd Dudes.
10 kill lead, along with an 8k gold lead.
They have one dragon and one tower in
And
their
3
pocket.
towers on top of that.
Yeah. Oh, 3 towers, my bad. Okay. So 3 towers is a very big difference. They're getting all the objectives, they're getting all the kills and assists, and now they're gonna focus their attention on smaller objectives like buffs. Top fanboy. He has 6 assists in his pocket, compared to Wukong's 0 to 0 KDA. So, the Lewd Dude's jungler, he's just been in the right places at the right times. Wukong, Purple
That's
Gorge, yeah, he just spent a lot of his time just trying to camp top lane, make something happen. But as I said before, it's just really, really hard to gank Gnar, and I don't think he should have wasted a lot of his time.
As you can see here, Purple Team has warded their side of the map, which is very important once you use all your tier 1 towers. Because I believe Blue Team here is going to actually start deep warding and counter warding, trying to deny vision, which makes it very, very dangerous for the team that's behind.
What I think is very interesting, though, is the fact that the San Francisco team's jungler, the Wukong, he opted for Sight Stones, which is, as you said before, that the vision control that Lewd Dudes is trying to provide is very, very crucial, and Purple George is trying to make that, trying to mitigate the fact that Lewd Dudes is trying to clear out most of their wards by buying a Sight Stone himself too. There's a lot of action happening with the red side jump. Braum goes in for a flash, misses his ult completely, pops the exhaust, misses his Q again. But he manages to get the stun, and they take down the tower. Maokai just going in with his Twisted Advance and his ultimate, just taking no damage.
Getting damage.
Wow. Maokai is just beefing. Maokai and Braum. Wukong going in for a nice 5-man ultimate. Irelia is also going in for a follow-up, but they're kiting this very well. No one actually dies from this. Braum walking out with sliver of health, but ends up going down to the spirit of the Lizard Elder buff. Overall, that was a 2 for 1, and Lewd Dudes ends up taking a tower, so that does end up going in the favor of the team.
Their Tristana currently is 4-0 with a Infinity Edge, and they have a very strong front line. They're now built pure tank, along with the Maokai and Braum, so it's pretty much protect the ADC, and Yasuo's damage is no joke either. He's 1-0-5.
And a lot of people might counter the fact that Lewd Dudes has such a good team comp with the fact that they're an all AD team, but at this point, at this early game point in time, you can't exactly say, like, no one can actually stack armor. Wukong right now, he just finished his Lizard Elder. He can't get any armor right now. Irelia is trying to finish her Trinity Force. She can't get any armor right now. So as long as Lewd Dudes keeps capitalizing their lead, then they can pretty much stop, like, completely ignore this full AD team comp and just destroy everyone before anyone actually gets any armor. So, action happening mid. Tristana's just split pushing bot. There's no one.
3v4 mid, 1-on-1 top. Tristana split pushing bot.
Tristana can't exactly. No one can really duel Tristana right now. She's very, very powerful. If someone were to actually try to fight Tristana,
What Irelia needs to do,
Irelia? Irelia hasn't even hit her power spike yet. Wow, that Wukong Q did no damage to Gnar. Gnar is incredibly beefy right now. So right now they're rotating down to this bottom lane turret. This bottom lane turret is probably going to go down. Very quick. Tristana going very aggressive on the Lux. Gets a little bit of damage. Maokai pops his ultimate and
Maokai with the ult.
doesn't end up doing much. But they end up getting a tower and they can just back off. Dragon is spawning in 45 seconds so they can recall. They can recall and immediately just come back for the dragon. They have full vision control over it. They're walking over wards.
Top is pushing, and Gnar still has TP. Vision is pretty much still balanced between them all. All the wards are heavily on the purple side.
The thing about the vision though is that red team's not exactly doing anything with it because okay, so in LCS they have a lot of vision, right? Typically both teams have visions of the bud in both of the jungles. But the biggest difference between these teams and the LCS teams is that the LCS teams, when someone has an advantage, they typically capitalize on that advantage. And they know that they have to snowball their advantage even more, so they start buying their sweepers, their pink wards, and they start destroying the other enemies' pink wards and denying them vision control so they can get better picks. So at the moment, the blue team's not exactly
in a team full of MIS.
Yeah. The blue team's not exactly getting a lot of vision control, but because they only have one person with a sweeper and they don't have a lot of pinks either. The red team is making the mistake of not capitalizing with their extended vision. Right now they do have vision, but they're not doing anything with it. Like, they see people, but they're just getting completely manhandled. Right now, red team just needs to get individual picks. But it seems incredibly difficult right now because blue team seems that they know that they have a team fight composition, so they will always stay grouped as 5.
Gnar's passive is down, Maokai used his ult, so this would be a 4v5 mid right now if they were to initiate.
Would have been a great
with a lot of resources spent on this.
That actually would have been a great opportunity to engage. They should have at least tried to force something because it was a 4v5. Gnar didn't have any of his fury and Maokai just popped his ultimate. Maokai's ultimate is gonna be up very quickly though. Both teams just staring at each other. Tristana, meanwhile, though, was pushing top lane furiously. Oh, good Wukong ultimate, but no one's there to follow it up. Quirky Valkyrie into there. Oh my god, he had to die. Hello. Okay. I think. Okay, so I think my co-caster disconnected. So I have to recall him. Meanwhile, just give me a sec. We're having some technical difficulties. All right. Technical difficulties. He's gone. He just disappeared from the face of the earth. Kevin! Hello? Is he even... Oh my god. Oh boy. Hello, welcome back.
And
I think Steven was hosting the call, so when he disconnected, our call just died.
Yep.
Yep, so now we're back.
so we did see a very good jungle fight with a Gnar ult and a wombo combo attempt from blue side, but
Did they get
it
one
just
kill?
did- I mean red side.
They got one kill, I think.
They just didn't put out enough damage. Their blue's front line is just too strong right now. They're too tanky.
They're just taking their gold. They don't even have to do anything fancy, like fancy CLG rotatos or claiming objectives. All they have to do is just push. They can just take a free Baron and then just push mid and then manhandle, just completely destroy red team with the gold lead that they have. They just have to play things by the book and then they'll be able to win this game.
Very true. Very true. So the thing about Baron is if a certain team's ahead and there's always opportunities to push, you should just push instead of Baron. Since Baron fights tend to be a very big game changer, but since blue team is so far ahead in gold lead kills, and that it doesn't really matter if they do mess up at Baron.
I personally believe that Baron's actually very good for closing a game too. Like, people make that argument saying that Baron is a very risky maneuver, but the thing about risk is that with high risk, that there's high reward. So if a team manages to get a Baron, they'll be able to push incredibly quickly, like Lewd is doing right now on the top side. Maokai gets a great snare on the Corki. Corki takes a lot of damage. Yasuo's just doing work on the top side, but they end up taking down the tower. Gnar gets a great ult.
Gnar is just unstoppable right now.
Yeah,
he
he's so
does
beefy
not
and he
care.
He has a lot of damage. My god. This guy's gonna wreck some towers now.
You may see the closing of the match.
Yeah, first turret is gonna go down. The spawn timers are fairly short though, because it's only 26 minutes in the game. But Tristana is just there battering away on the Nexus, and okay. Lewd Dudes is gonna take the first game to victory.
Victory to Lewd Dude with a 22k gold lead. Blue team.
Okay, congratulations to Lewd Dudes on winning the first game. Lewd Dudes played that very well, honestly. I just think they didn't make many mistakes as far as just looking at it. So, okay. Congratulations to Lewd Dudes. They won the first game on the blue side, and right now we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back in a few.
Interruption.
There we go.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm in the second game set up right now. I'm adding people in. Start at 9:20. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing before you guys go online around 9:20. I hear you guys were interrupting a bit. Find out who's going to be talking over who right now.
Oh no, because I believe it's just that there's a lag in between our speeches. So when one person would talk, and then I would wait for them to finish, and then they start talking. My I guess like either one of us would it lags. I don't know why. Like it's not instant
No.
for some reason.
Lag.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just something, like these are some technical difficulties that we can't really overcome unless we're actually in a studio together, just
Right,
casting
right,
right
right.
next
Yeah,
to
I
each other.
figured that.
So, like, we can't really do much about it, so we should just live with it. Live with it.
It. Okay. Well, Justin, you seem pretty fine with doing
Play by play?
not analytics, but the other, play by play.
Okay.
Do what you're doing. You're doing pretty good right now. So
Okay.
keep on doing that.
Alright.
Get a glass of water real quick, and we'll be live back in 2 minutes.
Alright,
Okay.
sounds good. Just enough time to fast. Just
Oh god, Kevin. Kevin.
we're not live yet. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we might have to. I have. It takes me a bit longer, so we might
It was a
have
joke.
to
It was
delay
a
the
joke.
start. No.
We might have to delay the game.
Yeah,
Guys,
for
I'm
like
not
a
ready.
good, I don't know, 1 hour while I work
Oh,
it
dude,
out.
I can go on marathon.
Okay. Stop. Professionalism. We're gonna be Kobe. Wait. Honestly, Kobe and Freak aren't exactly the most professional casters. Did you watch the Kobe explanation of how Zach's sound effects were made? He said that
Nope.
they took a condom, they filled it up with food, and they slapped it against the wall. And that's how Zach was born. Hooray!
Okay, so I'm gonna turn my mic. Hey.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Why aren't you shoutcasting me?
He is. I honestly don't know. Steven could shoutcast. I think there's nothing wrong with him shoutcasting.
Oh, right? What's going
Yeah,
on?
it could be 3-way casting, just like in
I-
Worlds.
My connection is very poor. Unless you really want me in there.
No, we're just
That's
wondering.
alright. We're just wondering.
I mean, I'm willing to do it. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my mic.
Alright.
Go ahead and go live.
Okay, the game is going to start.
That's Sandstorm. Oh yeah.
Twitch chat, explode! Right now! Do your job, please. Okay. Okay, the game started. Lewd dudes. Oh, whoops. This time, Lewd dudes is now on the purple side, so I gotta edit that out a bit. Give me a sec. Bam! There we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I also gotta edit this one out. There we go. So, City College of San Francisco versus Lewd dudes. I hope this game
Round
isn't as
2.
yeah. Hope this game isn't as stompy as before, because honestly, Lewd dudes did a very good job. I think they just played everything by the book. They got a lot of kills. They snowballed their leads. They took objectives, rotated, took towers, and then they just took the massive gold lead and just shoved it into San Francisco's face. San Francisco, hopefully they have an answer for this.
Again, we do see the same band, Rise, Lee.
I think they should ban some picks that were strong on Lewd dudes' side. Like, you shouldn't just ban power picks. You should ban picks that really worked well for Lewd dudes. Like, I think their Gnar pick was incredibly good, so they should ban Gnar. If they don't ban Gnar here, I'm gonna be surprised. Well, they did take Maokai off the table. That's pretty good. That's okay. Let's see what Lewd dudes is gonna ban. Janna. Lewd dudes honestly doesn't have much to fear. If the game goes on like it did last game, then Lewd dudes is gonna be fine. San Francisco though, locking in Tristana. That's another champion off Lewd dudes' table, but let's see what Lewd dudes has to respond for that.
We might see a Syndra mid.
Syndra gets locked in.
Yep, Syndra for Valencia. Yeah. Syndra and Yasuo are both Valencia's
main
mid picks.
Yeah. So Valencia does get a power pick right there. But let's see what the other team has as a response for that. Because Syndra still can't get countered. She has some pretty iffy matchups against certain champions, so you can see what the blue team has to respond to that. This Wukong pick is kind of fishy though. I mean, last game that I saw, the last game that we were watching, the Wukong pick didn't really do much. A Ziggs pick against the Syndra. This isn't bad, but it's also a little bit fishy because Ziggs, he can go even with Syndra, but Syndra can get to the point where once she gets her Rabdon, if she gets a little bit of damage onto Ziggs, she can just pop her ult and Ziggs will die. Just pop.
Yep.
Like a
So Syndra is a very target-oriented champion, so he's able to take out one champion right out of the bat in a team fight. But Ziggs does have that instant wombo combo burst damage. Instead, we're gonna see a Lux.
I don't like that Lux pick, honestly. Lux, the two biggest crippling factors were the Lux and the the Lux and the Wukong, in my opinion. They contributed nothing to that previous game. Wukong, he landed a couple of ults, but a lot of the times he wasn't actually in, like, he wasn't in range for his team to follow up, so that was his problem.
Right.
And the Lux,
He had no follow-up.
yeah, I think Lux is just a little weak in general. There's a reason why she's not being played anymore, so it's a little fishy, but I guess if they can somehow make the Lux work, then she'll probably be able to do a lot of poke damage. Ah, I forgot to add our epic LCS music.
So the J4 pick for jungler.
Jarvan pick?
And the interesting thing is, top fanboy recently picked up J4. He's had 5 ranked games with him, but he has an 80% win rate with him so far. So I'm expecting to see good things from that J4.
I'm not too sure how this Irelia Wukong is gonna work out again. Like top lane, the top lane they picked Gnar, and Gnar traded evenly with Irelia early on in the game. But the problem was that Wukong couldn't gank for Irelia to snowball that lead, because if Irelia gets ahead against Gnar, she'll be able to destroy Gnar. Same goes for Gnar. If Gnar gets ahead of Irelia, Gnar's gonna crap all over Irelia's face. So, Jarvan, I think Jarvan has way more potential in ganking Irelia than the converse, which is Wukong ganking Gnar. We saw what happened last game. Wukong trying to gank Gnar. Gnar would just do his cheeky little jump and then he'd just get away. So this team composition looks really similar to last game's on San Francisco's side. The only difference being that they have a Thresh support this time and an 80k Tristana. Their top lane, mid lane, and bottom lane are essentially the same. A Twitch pick is very interesting. This Twitch can actually end up working very well, because in terms of late game damage, Twitch and Tristana both do a ton of late game damage. They're both the ideal late game carries. So when it comes to getting to late game, I think both teams seem very even right now. But
so what I'm seeing the comp on Ohlone side is that they're very lockdown oriented. That Morgana ult, that J4 ult, Gnar ult into a wall. It's very oriented on massive CC, and that's where the Twitch comes in. He's able to line them all up, do a bunch of damage all in a straight line.
I think they have a great wombo combo team comp. This is actually really cool. So Jarvan, he could just use his EQ and then get a really nice 3 or 4 man dunk. Gnar can then jump in and then use his ults onto Jarvan's wall. Syndra can also land a stun, and Morgana can land like a 4-man ult, and then Twitch can just use his little spray and pray. His rat-tat-tat. Yeah, his rat-a-tat-tat and do tons of damage. So this is a very good wombo combo team, and their individual skirmishing is also very good. Because Syndra, she can make picks with her stun. Morgana can also get her snare down. Twitch is super good at picking people down. He just gets his Yoma's Ghost Blade, goes in, stealths up to someone very immobile like Lux, and then just starts shooting her. And Gnar is just Gnar. We saw what Gnar did last game.
So, what did you think about San Francisco's Thresh pick into Morgana? That was brought up by the audience.
Thresh pick against Morgana. Thresh can be very good in a lot of situations, even against the Morgana. So, like, he's got his Lantern. With someone as immobile as Lux, that's gonna be very, very good. So, in the end, though, these picks, they're kind of like solo queue. It depends on how good. Like, I might be hating a little bit on these picks, but that's in the perspective of like an LCS game. This is not an LCS game. Like, if these people know how their champions work and they can use them to full effect, then they're just gonna win the game just because of how good they are on their champions. If I'm dissing these one-trick ponies, which I kind of am right now, they can surprise me. They can surprise me because I don't know these players, and these players, for all I know, could be the best Wukong jungle out there in silver and gold. So, you know, you never know. It all comes down to how good these players are on their own individual champions. Teamwork also comes into play. Like I said this the previous game, teamwork is a pretty big factor, but these players, they're not the best players in the world. They still have a couple of mechanical issues, and whoever has the better mechanical skill probably is gonna end up as the winning team. So I'm interested to see what goes on. I want to see this Wukong work, actually.
Yeah, I want to see how Wukong's gonna adjust his strategy this time. Is he gonna focus more on mid and bot lane this time, or is he gonna try to do the same tactic but snowball top lane if he can?
He can snowball top lane. It's possible, and if he does, it's gonna be very great for Irelia. But this is the main problem. It's just very, very unlikely for him to actually get a successful gank at top lane because Wukong has no CC, Gnar has his stupid little jump because he's just a little cheeky cunt, and it's gonna be a pain to gank top lane. This is all about opportunity costs. I'm gonna bring in the econ here, okay? So, opportunity costs. What can you get for ganking top lane? Like with the time that you're ganking top lane.
Alright.
Basically, what he can do instead of ganking top lane with his time is that he can gank mid lane and bottom lane. And ganking middle lane and bottom lane is so much easier than ganking top lane. So the time that he goes top lane essentially is wasted because he could be going to the middle lane and the bottom lane, getting some kills, some easier kills, and then snowballing those lanes and then getting the easiest objective, which is dragon. That seems like the most probable course of action, but Wukong, he just keeps insisting on going top lane and trying to get the Irelia fed. So I hope he changes his strategy. He should know by now that Gnar is just a real jerk and he should just stop trying to do anything about that. Maybe he could counter gank if he's good at predicting Jarvan's movements. He could counter gank for top lane at like level 6, and Irelia and Wukong have a pretty strong level 6, so they could potentially make something happen. But aside from that, I think he should do something at mid lane and bottom lane, because those are the biggest contenders right now for Wukong. Especially when he has this little tornado thing. Like, bottom lane is a great lane to gank for Wukong because of his cyclone. So, we are now currently loading in the game. It is San Francisco, City College of San Francisco versus Ohlone's Lewd dudes. Very lewd. So inappropriate.
Round 2. So
Round
I'm
2.
gonna throw a little a question at the audience. I'm gonna ask them where do they expect to see the most action in this game, but I'm also gonna ask you. So where do you think the action's gonna be focused more this time?
Bottom lane I think is gonna be big. Bottom lane is gonna be pretty big, especially level 2, because both of them have a lot of level 2 potential. Seeing how
Bot lane.
yeah,
Go ahead.
bottom lane. Seeing how last game they got a first blood at level 1, I don't think San Francisco is gonna easily fall for that like they did in the first game. So they're probably gonna be a little more careful, and they're probably gonna have to play a little safer because Tristana isn't exactly the strongest trader out there. So we're currently on Summoner's Rift. Everyone's just chilling in the fountain because lag. Okay. Oh, hey, all the icons are in the right places now.
0 action game.
Yeah. Top fanboy in that sexy Jarvan skin. My god. He's got two unicorn horns. That's amazing. I never noticed that before. He's like an elf.
The Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, the Dynasty Warrior skin where he's got those 2 little bunny ears. You never had that before. Okay.
Welcome to Summoner's
Maybe they're gonna...
Last game. What's up?
Do you think they're gonna do anything cheeky? Like super LCS hashtag invades?
I don't know, because I feel like San Francisco might play a little conservative this game since they want to be a little bit more cautious. Star Award, but
Okay.
but
They're just
last match, bot lane for San Francisco got dominated. So, I think hopefully at least Wukong's gonna head bot.
Yeah, Wukong should change his strategy up a little bit. Maybe, like, if he's not gonna gank any lanes, at least he should rush level 6 as soon as possible. And then try to make something happen. Because at level 6 he can at least gank top lane. So, yeah, Wukong, the only big thing that Wukong has to focus on is just changing his strategy. He has to do something different. Because, you know, the definition of insanity, we all know what that is. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. This game is very similar to last game. Like, their top, jungle, and mid lane are the exact same thing. So, Wukong should probably think about changing his strategy a bit.
We might see a little action here.
Well, what is top fanboy doing? He's very deep.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Balls deep.
He's gonna be late to his blue.
Yeah, late to his
Wukong's
blue.
gonna have a lead.
That bottom lane. This might affect Lewd Dudes' bottom lane a bit. Like, they're down. They're moving down a bit slowly. Top fanboy taking his blue buff. Bottom lane. I don't think they missed any minions, so that's gonna be okay. Oh wow, that camera. Okay, so Lewd Dudes is doing alright now.
So
Jarvan going
here we
for-
are. We're gonna see early gank, level 2
another
gank
level
like
2
last
gank.
game. And Morgana
That's
binding.
a great binding, and now they decide to trade it off. Worst jihad
And
NA.
great flash. That was
Yeah.
a beautiful flash.
He flashed a lot earlier this time. So, that doesn't end up being a first blood, but still, both summoners burnt on Tristana. She's very behind in the lane right now. These level 2 ganks are working pretty well, strangely enough.
Yep.
This is like season 2 all over again.
Where everyone starts boots.
Yeah, boots 3, not boots 4, boots 3, and then they get their first buff, and sometimes they do like a cheeky level 2 gank. They start red buff, go top lane, and then just get like a cheese kill. Yeah, those were the days. Tristana hit level 2, and Thresh didn't hit level 2, so Thresh, I think, missed something.
Once again, we're gonna see a Wukong top trying to possibly pressure the Gnar.
Which isn't surprising.
And there goes the Gnar, no longer Mega Gnar. But now there's the thing, they're taking a ton of minion damage.
Okay, Nar is going to go down here, I think.
He is
wow,
not.
no, he lives
He
with a
is
sliver
not.
of health. Wukong should have just autoed him one more time. I think he wanted to give the kill to Irelia, but then he was just a bit too, like he was greedy, like quote unquote greedy, so he wanted to give the kill to Irelia, but in the end, Nar ends up surviving. And he can just teleport back if he wants to. So,
Shout out to my boy Evan out there. Just shout out.
hello, Evan. You just had Kevin shout you out. Morgana got hooked, but you know Morgana just gonna walk it off. She's a strong, independent black woman. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry
Purple.
to all
She's
the...
purple. I believe
yeah,
she's
a
purple.
strong, independent purple woman. She's like she's something different. Okay, Gnar at the top lane, getting harassed, taking a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, he just stayed in melee range.
A lot less action this match. Surprised there's no first blood yet.
Well, last game, first blood came from a cheeky level 2 gank, so
And
middle lane taking a lot of damage. Syndra, what the heck
that
is wrong with the
flash,
camera?
Flash ignite, but
Okay,
flash
flash.
barrier also.
Both of them end up going even.
Wukong with the lane gank.
Lane gank. He's trying another gank on this top lane. Irelia is honestly fine. Wukong should just go do something else. Is he like... He's trying to get the D. Man, this Wukong... He has to do something different.
He's wasting a lot of resources right
Yeah,
now. Just
well,
being
yeah. Last game he was wasting too much time because top lane was behind and he couldn't gank top lane. So he should have just let
We
that lane
might
fall.
see a 2v2
Yeah.
very soon.
Oh wow, Gnar going in. Wukong is already there, and then Jarvan gets a nice 2-man knockup. He's auto-attacking the Irelia, gets first blood, and he's
First
probably gonna get
blood,
second
Gnar
blood on
lives with the
Wukong.
sliver.
And there's the Q, stabbed to the heart. Wukong goes down. Jarvan's just
Shot through the heart.
and you're too late. Goodbye, Wukong and Irelia. You're having a bad day. Oh baby, so Jarvan has 2 kills. It's not looking very good for San Francisco. Wow, I'm looking at the gold and for some reason it's already... That is... Okay, 1.8k gold. 1.8k gold at 7 minutes. How'd that happen?
Well, purple team right now, Ohlone, once again is out CSing San Francisco side. And along with mid too. Ohlone is also
yeah.
out CSing.
Bottom
Flex.
lane, mid lane, jungle, and top lane. They're all out CSing them. And Jarvan got 2 kills, so that probably explains a lot of that. Wow. They want us to sing. What do we do? What do we do? We gotta stay professional though. This is quite the dilemma.
Oh my god, Thresh is out CSing Morgana.
Uh-oh, I think Ohlone gonna lose. That 6 CS is gonna make a huge difference. Oh, GG. Dude, Ohlone should just forfeit right now. Like, /FF20 at 20. They're too bad.
Alright, so here we see that
Lux
that
is-
Syndra actually has blue buff versus a
Lux
Lux without blue buff, so...
bottom
I-
lane is getting a really nice trade going on. Twitch hit level 6 before Tristana hit level 6. So he gets a
Okay.
lot more damage onto Tristana and Thresh. Top lane though, Gnar gets a lot of damage taken, so not looking very good for them. Top fanboy. spots a ward, smites it with his spear thing. It's a trident. Mara's not having that bad of a time, honestly. If he chooses to, you can just stay in the back and just farm it out. He doesn't have to harass Aurelia. So, bottom lane. Getting the CS Aronies. Oh, Tristana's going in deep.
Here we are with the Morgana.
Morgana
ult.
gets a nice two-man ult, and then Twitch just goes in and cleans house. Thresh still has a flash. But Tristana
Oh,
roams.
with the
No, not,
Syndra.
yeah, Syndra roams down and gets the kill. Lux was a little late to the party. She was trying to walk down and assist them, but to no avail. Gnar. Oh, Gnar getting a nice ult. And then Jarvan coming in. Demacia? No, doesn't even need to.
I see very good coordination with Ohlone right now.
Ohlone making things happen bottom lane and top lane. Right now, Wukong can't do anything about that just because his bottom lane just died. If he saw Jarvan top lane, they could have probably gotten a dragon, but top lane and bottom lane both got destroyed. Now he's
And
trying
we
to look
see
for
a
game.
Wukong with a ult.
Oh, and does nothing to
Did
Syndra.
nothing.
Well, he did listen to our advice this time. At least he ganked mid. So that at least there's still just a bit of hope. But Ohlone, they came out with a top turret and a bottom turret, and they got kills in their pocket. So overall, this seems like a very good game for Ohlone again. Very good start for Ohlone. They're
5 kill lead, along with a roughly 5k gold. Lead.
Yeah. No dragon has been taken yet, though, so there's still an objective for San Francisco to take. They still have the towers. All they have to do is make a pick, and once they get that pick, they gotta capitalize, because this is basic economics. League of the Summoner's Rift is like an economics class, except more fun. Oh my god,
Oh
Tristana
my
gets bound
gosh.
again.
Very good
Expunge.
binding.
Yeah. Thresh doesn't look like he's getting out of this. Jarvan comes in, probably doesn't even need to dunk him. And double kill for Twitch.
That binding made me moist.
Yeah, that binding is so incredible. Morgana picking it up. Wukong this game hasn't done much again. He's just slapping some wraiths with his big stick.
So I believe the difference between the ADCs right now is just exponentially too big for them right now. I believe they need to make some plays by grouping up and making picks right now.
Yeah, but this is the same. They still have the same problems from last game. They can't seem to fix them. So they would just get dominated early game, and then once they get to the mid game, they kind of get wrecked. So because the gold lead is just a bit big. Yeah, this stream is not safe for work. Little kiddies under 18, be aware.
I don't know. I'm sweating.
Yeah, we're just
right.
the tension is just too exciting.
Right. I'm just sweating. I didn't say anything.
Wet, as in moist, which means sweat. I mean, if we're really talking about like that type of moist, you know.
So here we are.
Guys can only sweat, right? And yeah, okay. Lux with the laser down the lane, clearing some minions with her big laser, and they're standing.
So we
on top
see
board.
5 of blue on mid, while Irelia is at top. This is quite similar to the last game where Irelia was farming top, while the Ohlone was all grouped.
This is kind of weird. I really, she goes for a Vamps after this game. That's actually pretty interesting. Last game she was trying to go for the Trinity Force Rush. This time I think she's trying something different. Oh, Trish gets hooked, and she gets,
and
wow.
there's the binding.
There's binding, but Jarvan gets
Almost
a really nice
combo.
dunk onto 3 people. And Stringera, oh, she just cleans house. Twitch manages to survive all of that too, because Morgana put a dark shield, and she managed to get a snare on Nico. So
Very true.
very,
Nar did a very good job at peeling and pushing the team back away from Twitch.
Twitch actually got caught there, but then the disengage, the peel was very, very good. And they had no one to follow it up. San Francisco had no one to follow it up with because their backline was just getting decimated by Dunkmaster Jarvan. He got a great 3-man Cataclysm, and then Syndra just used her AoE. So, great plays by Ohlone. And Syndra being cheeky here with her balls. Stealing the golem away. Oh wow. Nar ends up getting the blue buff. That cheeky little. Oh, run! You better run.
Oh.
Okay, so some action fighting mid.
Fresh hook. And a kill for San Francisco. Might be 2. There's 2 kills.
2 kills for San Francisco. Very good picks. Now they have to make something happen. Mid lane is pushing. They gotta. Right now they have to clear the minions and possibly try to get this mid tower.
My advice would have been just go for Baron. Twitch is at bot with 2 dead. Their jungler has no smite.
But they can take. They probably take a lot of damage from that, and death timers are a little low. So Syndra herself honestly could have stopped both of them. She's still fairly healthy. So Baron would have been a little risky. But at the same time, they didn't even get the mid tower, so maybe Baron would have been an interesting risk. I mean, is it possible? They could have. It was possible. So, Syndra. Nothing seems to be going on right now.
The audience said that Baron probably would have been a bad call since they had no real tank. No real front line right now. Because if you look at the items, Wukong all Wukong really has is an Elder Lizard, and Irelia has a Vamp Scepter.
Yeah, that makes sense. They also don't have the damage. Yeah. This Twitch. He actually opted for Infinity Edge over the Blade of the Ruined King. That's pretty interesting.
Well, I believe if you're ahead and you have the money to buy a BF sword on pretty much any ADC early, I would buy the BF sword. It's
yeah,
just a huge power spike.
That makes sense. So he probably bought the opted to buy the BF sword first, and then since he already had the BF sword, he was just like, might as well go for the Morgana with a flash bind, but it actually misses Tristana. Nar continues to chase on, and Jarvan, he just
Jarvan with the jump, Dunkmaster Jarvan.
Yeah, Thresh is trying to
with the
disengage for his Tristana, but wow, their chase potential is just incredible. Ohlone just melts 3 people. They don't even take that much damage, and bottom lane is pushing. They're just gonna go for this tower, and they're most likely just gonna lose it. Ohlone, wow, Lewd dudes is being so lewd right now. This is not safe for work.
Well, I believe it's due to their coordination. They're moving as a unit right now since laning phase is pretty much over. They got all their first tier turrets, and what San Francisco is doing is they're training a lot of turrets for team fights. I mean, they got their first turret on top, but they lost 2 tier turrets in a team fight.
Well, I think
along with Dragon.
The biggest factor here, like, they lose the turrets for sure, but that usually comes as a result of losing team fights. And I don't think they only won 1 team fight here. And Lewd dudes, how many did they win? They won like what, 4 or 5 skirmishes. So every time Lewd dudes won those skirmishes, they would just go rotate. They would take a dragon. They would take an objective, and this is what this game is about, right? Objectives, dragon. They would take those, they would get the gold, they would cash them in, and then they would take whatever gold advantage they have, and then just destroy them in the next team fight. And then the cycle would just repeat over and over and over again. And Lux just flashed and missed the binding. So Yeah. Okay. Lux has no flash now because Lux is Worldly Lux. Her bindings are super slow.
So there's a 10 kill with, I believe, 12k lead for
Yes.
Ohlone.
12k gold lead right here. Very big. Morgana, she's not even going for support item, man. She's going for the dank ass Zanyas. So she's swimming in money herself. This is Lewd dudes is being very lewd indeed. This is, man.
Senpai has definitely noticed them.
Yeah, San Francisco is getting manhandled up the butt. This happened in the previous game too. Like, I don't know why, but they decided to pick the exact same top, jungle, and mid after losing with those top, jungle, and mid picks. Maybe there's a reason for that.
So once again, here we see Ohlone grouping and invading their jungle. Twitch is split pushing top, but I
Yes.
believe they have enough damage to 4v5.
Twitch can actually 1v1 pretty much anyone right now. Even Irelia. Irelia has no item. She has the Bilgewater Cutlass, but oh my god, Twitch, he has the Infinity Edge and the Static Shift. He could just delete her off the map. So he does a ton of damage right now. Look at him. He's just destroying the wolves. They're taking bullets to the face, and they hurt. Ohlone. Lewd dude's looking to push out mid lane. Jarvan recalling. I thought they were just gonna group up and push in mid lane, but apparently not. Wow, Jarvan went home, immediately bought a Randuin's Omen. Maybe that's why. So, wow, he is beefy already. He's incredibly beefy. I think this scenario is exactly the same thing as last game's scenario. So, they have these very strong carries. They have their mid laner Syndra, and they have the Twitch who's 4-0-4. And then they got these super beefy jungler and top lane picks, which can just protect these carries super easily. And what do you know? One of those top lane picks is Gnar. Like, hey, Gnar was in the last game, he wrecked face. He did get banned, he gets picked again. Hey, he's wrecking face again. He has 7 assists. That's a lot of kill
I
points.
believe that there is going to be some action at this top tower.
Everyone's grouping up right now.
There's binding on Gnar. Gnar no longer has Mega Gnar passive.
But honestly, they don't need it. Gnar has a lot of poke damage. He could just keep poking while they batter at this tower. Top fanboy gets hit by a good
Binder.
Wombo combo by Wukong gets an incredibly good ultimate. They actually get one kill.
And they come and clean up San Francisco
Wow,
with
that was a very clean
comeback.
play. Lux's bind was very good. And suddenly, oh wow,
Big
Gnar is
Gnar.
doing work.
Here we are with that.
Big Gnar is OP. Nerf him, please. Lux is trying to get away from his life. Oh dang, gets stunned, gets hit by a boulder. Oh, balls to the face. How do you like that, Lux?
Very good attempt by San Francisco, but it
Yeah,
just
they should have
wasn't
chased
enough.
so deeply into that jungle. Like, they went just a bit too deep. They should have just taken those 3 kills and then just left them in their pocket. But Lewd dudes, they just turned around so lewdly, and they cleaned up with only 2 champions left. Gnar and Syndra doing a lot of work. As I said before, this Gnar pick is working very well. And San Francisco, they didn't ban Gnar. This guy knows his champion really well, and he does wontons of damage.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I'm so colorful.
So, what would you say? How would you handle a team comp that revolves around protecting 1 or 2 very strong carries?
When you do that, you have to get individual picks. Like, as I said before, I keep saying this over and over again because it's very important. For some reason, the San Francisco team, they have plenty of vision, but then they're not knocking out wards of the enemy team. So because they don't knock out the wards, they can't get any picks. And every time they try to get the picks, they kind of group up and they try to catch off these 1 or 2 stragglers. But then the enemy team knows that they're there, and then they start grouping up themselves to counter this 5v3 counter engage. No, this 5v3 catch. And because this 5v3 catch, like they try to make it a 5v3 catch, but in the end it becomes something like 5v5, and then they just lose the team fight.
So we're seeing some tango dancing in the jungle.
Oh, the top fanboy getting
Twitch
hooked
is split
in.
pushing bot.
Takes a lot of damage and a lot of CC, but no one's there to follow it up. Wukon's just slapping his face. Tristana, wow, takes a lot of damage. Syndra throws her DFG and then throws her ultimate, and Wukong just gets picked off right there. Meanwhile, bottom lane Twitch is just doing work. He's just shooting the inhibitor, doing what Twitch does best. Now he's running away, but the damage is already done. Took the bot lane tower. Oh wow, what just happened there? Okay. Red team's cleaning up. They got a lot of kills, but Jarvan, what the heck happened there? Did you just see that with Jarvan?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not quite sure what happened either.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna rewind this one time, just because I want to see what happens here. Okay, so Jarvan goes in. Let's see, slapping that ward, and then does his EQ. What? Oh, that's a Tristana ultimate. Okay, he immediately gets the Tristana ultimate.
Here we see a wombo combo with Wukong,
Okay.
but it's to no avail. Theo is up against 3 people.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like what they could have actually done was during champ select. Against a team comp that revolves around protecting 1 or 2 high priority targets, what's better to play against that than to play an assassin that specializes in taking out high priority targets?
I think something they could have done too is, they could have survived laning phase better and then made it to late game, because their late game honestly is very strong. They have Wukong, he has that AoE knockup. They have Lux, she does lots of AoE damage. They have Irelia, who's a great front line because Irelia, she has a lot of tenacity, also does a lot of damage. And they have Tristana and Thresh. Okay, so that's a great late game pick. But the thing is, Ohlone, they just capitalized every single time, and they got an early game advantage and ended up destroying San Francisco every time with their early game advantage. So, Lewd dudes, they're just playing this by the book so well. This is very lewd indeed. I mean, my eyes are just
15 kills and roughly 19k gold lead,
Yeah, 19K.
along with 6 towers.
6 towers to 1. Hey, San Francisco, I don't think they actually got a tower last game, so that's an improvement. That's if they ever have games next time with Lewd dudes or Ohlone or any other team, they'll know what to do now. They gotta stop getting picked
Here's
up.
the Baron, and they're probably gonna close the game afterwards.
Yeah, this is just a free Baron. There's nothing they can do about it. Smite arenas, Baron Nashor goes down, climbs back into his hole, and they are grouped as 5.
Mid and bot are pushing themselves.
Yeah, because they've got 2 inhibitors, and now they're looking to push this top lane and potentially end the game. Syndra, very risky pick. She bought a Medjai's, but you know, it's so far ahead, nothing could really go wrong. They got a huge minion wave right here. Lux clears his way. Oh, Thresh pops his box, but red team wasn't actually engaging on him. Wow, they're just soaking up damage. And, ooh, Syndra with a great pick at the Tristana. She just died. Nothing she could have done there. Syndra's so fed. She just did a GFG Q ult and then Tristana's gone. Morgana with a flashy, very flashy.
There's the flash. There's the dunk.
And there's Demacia. He comes trapped. Can't really do much. Laser comes out, but there's nothing San Francisco can do right now. I think Lewd Dudes is gonna take this game. Congratulations to Lewd Dudes taking the second game against San Francisco. Super Minions bashing.
Congratulations, Lewd Dude, for the winning best of 3 and their debut match.
Lewd Dudes played that very well. I like that game. Very, very efficient. Okay. GG, Lewd Dudes. GG. Nar is OP. Okay. So, tonight's winner is Lewd Dudes. They went 2-0 against San Francisco, the City College of San Francisco. I think those were some pretty good games. It was efficient.
Alright, those were good games.
Yeah.
And
So, the stream's probably over. The games are over, so stream's over. I'm proud to be tonight's shoutcaster. My name is Justin LeChode Cho.
my name is Kevin. Thanks for listening to us, and thanks for tuning in.
Signing out. Good night, everyone.